I've just got one question. You raised something that I think is very topical, and that is using Kafka as a data store as opposed to a relational database. Is if you're after that static information, relational database, but Kafka does have the ability, from what I'm hearing, to do some querying. And, in the instance of Virgin, where you might want to have a sequence of events, it's great to be able to just retrieve it straight from Kafka.
So think about the use case of a mobile app that tells you where your bags are, and it's set up with push notifications so that you get a notification every time something important happens to one of your bags. So how do you do this in the traditional world? So you have your JMS message queue, and it takes the incoming messages about flight status and it puts them in a database, and there's another incoming thing about baggage events and it puts them in a database, and the tables are structured so that the foreign keys line up. And then you have a polling process which wakes up every 30 seconds and queries the database for, things that now joining those tables and saying, okay, this is something I need to tell the passenger about. So the way you do this in Kafka world is you join the streams. You might do that with KSQL. You filter on, this and that and the other until you narrow it down to streams that matter to passengers, and then you just publish those out to your destination. There's no database. There's no point. There's no reason for a database. Now, that's not to say that you might not also have, an audit database or compliance, and you have to store it, which is the thing we're doing now. And guess what? You just stand up new listeners to those topics and shunt and route that data off to your compliance or your audit data store, and that's fine. But the main use case is an event streaming use case, way to put it, which he said Kafka is like a Fitbit. And it's like wearing a Fitbit, because a Fitbit, you don't use a Fitbit by saying, collect all this data for the day or the week, and then the next day or the next week, go back and review the data, run reports on that data, tell me what I was doing wrong, and then I will make changes later. The Fitbit says, hey, you've been sitting for 40 minutes, get up and walk around, right? Like it's event driven. It tells you, hey, this is happening now, react in this way. So think of Kafka, Confluent Kafka as a Fitbit for your business.